Hi, I'm Lindsay Brauzer, and this is what I do in my classroom. I teach AP Language and Composition along with regular Ed English 11, and I'm a sponsor of the class of 2017. Here's a look at what I do with my AP Language and Composition students. Interpret that, okay? I want you to be able to figure out what it is that encapsulates your decade. Pages for each lens with relevant events, societal, and cultural aspects, okay? So inside the book, this is where you're going to be putting your pictures, your titles, your captions, and all that, and your quotes, and all that stuff. I make sure that it's separate. I need to know that American crime is separate from American politics, okay? So make sure that you, if you need to blend it, you can have a blending page. That's fine. But title it so I know what's what, that you didn't miss out on something when I'm looking at the pictures, okay? Obviously, appropriate rhetoric is used for your titles and your captions, okay? You want to encapsulate the decade that you're working with. Voice and style are both considered in the writing of your captions and your titles, okay? Remember, we've been working on style, we've been working on voice and adding our own presence to our writing. So I want to make sure that you can do that in this project too, with very small little quotes and titles and captions. External text structures including color, font, size, spacing, etc. are all appropriate, okay? There needs to be a reason behind your actions on everything. You chose blue because this was a sad time. You chose green because there was hope. Okay, look at your, look at your tone list, look at your archetypes, your characterization things, your motifs, all of that packet, the R2A packet that we've talked about a lot. Get that out, okay? Parenthetical citations and a works cited page are going to be necessary for the project as well. Just one, attach it at the end, okay? This is not going to be a research-based project. However, you do have to bring in your research that you know that you've been doing all year, okay? All right, so we've got our decades, the 50s through the 90s. Here's your lenses. Take a look with me. American politics. You saw examples up here, okay? American crime. Again, you saw examples up there. We had OJ, okay? American pop. This is where you can talk about fashion, hairstyles, things that were going, like big movies, big books that were released during that decade, things like that. American media, okay, what's going on in the media? What's the media pushing, okay? American industry, what people are doing during this time period. Jobs, okay, what's the economy looking like? And then American literature, okay, what was published in each decade? Who are the big authors? What were they saying? Okay? Now, due date. Let me check on that for you. It's going to be due before the AP test, obviously. So it's coming up. My apologies, folks. Wait. And then your group members.
We should have a draft.
Can we
A draft.
We should do a draft.
That for,
That'd actually be hilarious. Can we do that?
so far.
Can we do that, please?
You have to randomly select like 6
It'd be so much
Okay,
fun.
project is going to be due April the 4th. I'm sorry, May the 4th. April 4th. You're like, haha. That's fast. May the 4th be with you.
Oh, Star Wars Day.
That was the joke, Miguel.
Yeah, it's too much stuff. Okay, groups. We're going to discuss groups next class. Okay, we'll discuss groups next class. I haven't decided yet. That's why I want to wait. I'm thinking yes, but I need to think real quick. All right, on the back, these are your targets. Okay, so on your targets, we're looking at literary analysis, and you're looking at free response / writing. Okay, photo analysis is a form of literary analysis. Okay, my students at Nova are writing a paper right now where they have to pick the most, pick a photo, and they have to explain how that photo has impacted America since it was published. Okay, so some people are using some of the photos that you saw up here today to write their paper, and they have to write a 5-page paper about that. So These are things you have to be able to get into. Remember our discussion on the nuances and the very specific details? That's what you're getting into here with your captions, your titles, and everything else. So look here with me. This is basically the rubric. I'm going to pass out a smaller form of the rubric with you as well. So we're looking at the book capturing, defining historical, societal, and cultural aspects of the decade. That's R3. We know that. R1, the main idea of each page is clear, significant, provided for the images. Okay. R2B, okay, titles and captions incorporate rhetorical devices, tropes, schemes, strategies that are relevant to your topic of the page. So that would be relevant to, say, American politics or American literature. Okay. And they have to be engaging to the audience. Okay, the audience on this, folks, is not just me. What we're going to do with this is each group's going to have their lookbook, and they're going to lay it out on their desk, and we're going to do a big gallery walk on the 4th to check out everybody's lookbook to see. So you can go through it as a group and take a look at the different decades that you weren't in charge of. So you can pull things and be like, oh, yeah, that did happen in the 80s. Okay, sticking that in my brain for the AP test. Okay. So make sure that you're prepared for that. So your audience is not just me. It's not just me and Mr. Viola. You're all looking at this, which makes it more authentic in my eyes. Okay? R4, syntax, diction, tone, details, imagery are exemplary of a reflective style. So what we mean by that is you're looking at these pictures and you're able to reflect what's going on during this time period. How can we process what's going on, and what is that saying about America? Okay, what are we taking from this? And then number 6, relevant inferences are used in color, font, size, which help capture the decade and project the main idea and the important details. Okay, inferences are also made in regards to the topics that you choose to put in your lookbook. Any questions on the literary analysis part of the rubric? Okay. And then for the writing portion, relevant and engaging content is chosen that is appropriate. Information is organized logically and appropriately. Style is considered throughout the book. The book embodies a true reflection of the decade. Okay? And citations are provided parenthetically and on a works cited page. Okay? So if you're pulling quotes from the internet, that's okay. Okay? But you just got to cite it. And then that source has to be on your works cited page. We're clear on all that? Okay. So, we're running out of time here. So what I want to do is kind of, as a whole group, put together what might be like a lookbook for the 20s. Okay? Because the 20s aren't on our list and because we're studying the 20s for the Great Gatsby, let's take a look at our lenses. Okay? And let's talk about what from the 20s could we put in our big group whole lookbook. So let's go down the list. American politics. What politically was happening during the 20s?
Great Depression.
Not yet. Not yet, Lex. But Prohibition was big. Catherine.
Women having the right to vote.
Yes, women pushing for the right to vote. Good. I would jot these down on your warm-up paper. So for politics, we would have prohibition. We would have pictures of prohibition. We would have pictures of women with the right to vote. Flappers we would have for American pop. Okay? Remember the bob haircut that we talked about? Okay, that would also be pop.
The stock market crash in 1929.
All right, yes. Good, Lex. Let's get that in there. The stock market crash. What would that go under?
Probably industry.
Industry. Okay, good.
Al Capone.
Al Capone. Nice.
Hollywood.
Okay, yep.
Hollywoodland.
Yeah, Hollywoodland. Did you see that in the little film that we showed?
No, it was in USA.
It was Hollywoodland at first, and then they took the land down. All right, what lit are we seeing?
Great Gatsby.
Great Gatsby. Good, Jordan. You know my favorite. What else? Who were other big writers during the 20s? Do we know?
Hemingway.
Hemingway. Good. Excellent. We had a lot of poets in the 20s, too. Remember from our notes?
Harlem Renaissance.
Yes, Harlem Renaissance was big, too. Yep, we're blending modernism with Harlem Renaissance. during this time period. What was the media like?
Was Charlie Chaplin that era?
Yep. Silent films, okay.
The radio, newspapers.
Yes, right. Newspapers were huge, okay? That's, you know, we need to get back into that here. Especially with this free response, that's where we get all of our information. We see it all, like we're reading singular articles that are posted on social media, which is totally cool. But back then they would get the paper every day and it would, you know, come in with the headlines and it would come in with everything that was going on, who was going to whose party and who was, you know, doing things that they weren't supposed to.
Was this yellow journalism or is that the? That's why they Gilded Age and imperialism.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So what else can we include in our lookbook?
That was Al.
We got Al Capone.
Oh,
Yeah,
Any other crime?
The Valentine's Day Massacre.
Okay. Yeah. Gangsters in general. Okay, Valentine's Day Massacre. What about, and you'll see, how many of you in Gatsby have gotten to the part about the fixing of the World Series?
Oh, yeah.
That was right before the 20s, okay? So all the gamblers were able to fix the World Series. So that's something that we're coming off of. You might touch on that just briefly since it's not within your decade, but the fallout from that is still going to happen in the 20s. What else?
Jazz.
Jazz, yep. Musically, jazz was huge.
Would that fall under media or pop?
I would probably put it under pop. What else? Where are we lacking? Media.
Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah.
The radio.
The radio.
Was it the fireside chats?
That's
was
third.
That was
That's
the
very-
third.
Yeah, that's a little later. All right. So we're getting some ideas of things that we can be doing for our decades. Okay, we're pulling from these specific lenses. Does anybody have any questions about the project? Is it pretty straightforward? Okay. We're going to talk tomorrow during regular class time about groupings so that you guys can get working on it, and then we can go from there. Actually, I am going to collect this this warm-up sheet that you guys have been working on. I just want to check it out. It's not for a grade. It's just kind of for a formative assessment. If you're out of room on the...
What?
What?
Is it my formative assessment a grade?
Yeah, well, it can be, or it doesn't have to be.
Informative.
Okay, real quick, hang on. On the back, if you don't have room on the front, I want you to write down 2 questions I have for you. Number 1, what questions do you still have about the project that you don't want to ask me right now? And number 2, do you think this project will help you come up with examples to use on the free response? And then just say why or why not. Okay. Jordan, I'm sorry, did you have a question?
Yeah, but you just said to write it down, so I'll just write it down.
Okay. All right, so take a few minutes and then I'll take those when the bell rings. Yes, dear. Second question, do you think this project is going to help you with your repertoire of examples to pull from for the free response essay?
Tomorrow, yes, it's for sure.
Yes.
So, does it have to be like suit tie or like?
It never had to be suit.
No, I mean, just dress like you would in the courtroom for tomorrow's class. The jury's giving their presentation. You have to be dressed up when the jury gives the verdict in a regular, normal trial, so the jury dressed up for you guys all week, so you can dress up for the jury one day. All right, Scott, do you want to collect those who are finished? Thanks, Scott. Yes.
I was gonna make a comment to you on the trial.
Okay.
Maybe like for future years, everyone should read the same book and like maybe you can make a list of the same sources to use because when everyone uses different sources,
then there's like information that like the prosecution knew that the defense didn't know, and the defense knew that the prosecution didn't know, and then it was like, hard to tell.
Yeah, definitely. Because this is the first time we're doing this mock trial project, it was kind of a shot in the dark. I'm pleased with how well it worked out, but I understand your frustrations, and I'll definitely take that into account in the future. Zainab.
This is just a book that I read about the Leo Frank.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, it's a PDF, and you want me, I can email it.
Yeah, email it to me. Yeah, there was one that somebody sent to Mr. Viola that looked really cool that I saved, and I just haven't gotten a chance to look through it yet. Did you guys like your books that you did for the Leo Frank mock trial?
I'm sure you read it.
Me too.
Okay.
But I wasn't particularly invested in it to begin with.
All right, so tomorrow's jury presentations will take place during regular class time, and then next week on Wednesday will be the Gatsby quizzes on chapters 1 through 5, and then vocab. We're all caught up on vocab and everything?
Really, dude?
Thanks, Scott. We got them all? Wiggly. Appreciate it. Yes?
When we come graded by? Just because I want to know if I should
Hopefully
study
today.
tonight.
Hopefully today.
Okay, can I stop by after school?
Yeah.
Where will you be?
English workroom.
Okay. I just want to know if I should study tonight for the retake. Okay.
Yes. Do you think you did well on it?
Yeah, probably like an 80.
All right, well, it just depends. Do you want higher than an 80?
I just want something to put my grade up.
Okay.
Oh, also, did you get my for the
I got a pile of
okay, because I turned in because I didn't do the doubt and certainty one.
Okay.
And so I just turned in the rewriting.
Oh, okay. Yes, I'm writing it right now. Tell me, where my pen go? Where are you? Hang on, just yes. Is that okay? Okay. Flex state 414. Oh. Alright, Zane, I'm sorry.
And where can I
think it has to be
English workroom. Okay. Okay. Yes.
Making sure to help me with my essays.
Yes.
Yes. Alright, can I get a pass to Flexen today for a second?
If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice. If you can hear me, clap 3 times. Have a seat, folks. You know I don't like this when I stand up. I'll let you take my seat.
Nice seat, Scott.
All right, here you go, Jordan. Thanks, Hannah.
Did you retake it?
I'll be in the English. We've started Gatsby. We did our little introduction to Gatsby a couple classes ago before we started the mock trial, right? So how many of you started reading Gatsby? Excellent. I love it. We're finishing this weekend for the quiz on Monday or on Wednesday. Okay, perfect. So remember we talked about with your free response essays that the evidence that you guys are pulling isn't as awesome as it could be. Okay, I think it's because we have like a little bit of a lack of a repertoire to pull from. Okay, some of us are really struggling to find examples. We're digging into our personal lives. We're making up hypothetical examples. I want you to be able to come up with real, live, actual examples from history, from pop culture, movies, TV shows, things that have actually happened. Okay, so I think that would be really, really helpful to you for that free response essay on the AP test. Do you agree? Okay, so Mr. Viola and I designed this project. I've talked to you a little bit about it while it's been in the works, but this is the project in the flesh now, okay? We're calling it a time capsule lookbook, okay? So here's the project. And once everybody gets one, I will discuss requirements. But you're going to need a blank piece of paper to kind of start us off here. Can you pass one over to Natalie and Alec, please? Thomas, I'm going to give you one. Just set it aside until you're ready for it, okay?
Hands down. Yeah.
I'm very
Retweet.
I had soccer practice last night from 5 to 8. I was gonna bust you with paper. No, I got it from Beyond.
Alright, can you all see the board with the podium in the way, or would you like me to move it? You guys are good? Yeah, we can. Thanks, Scott.
Really, Scott?
Alright, Alex, can we hit the lights?
Hey, that was a pretty good attempt.
Maybe just one light, is that okay?
That was one light.
Oh.
One light was already off. That's where we
You
were.
want to move over by Rachel? Right in front of Rachel? Okay. Okay, yeah, and this projector hasn't been the best for us. Is it plugged in? Is that lamp plugged in? Can we plug it in? There's a spot behind Jordan. Okay. Here's what I want us to do. I'm going to test your knowledge to see what we know about the 50s, the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Okay? This seems to be the weak area where we're not able to pull from. And part of it is our fault as teachers because we have to rush through our curriculum so quickly that we don't get past Vietnam ever, right? In history and in our literature, we don't get very far into, the current postmodernism eras. So we're trying real hard to do that this year with you guys. So I want to kind of test your repertoire to see what you know already. So I'm going to show you a series of pictures. All you have to do on your piece of paper is number. Go, I think it's 1 to 17. It might be 16.
Do we have to leave space?
No, just you can go straight down the page. That's fine. And all you're writing is 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s. Okay? You're going to take a look at the picture, decide whether the picture is from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s.
Did we put our name on it?
No, it's just, that's all. I mean, if you did, don't erase it. It's fine.
Are we turning it in?
Yeah. All right, are we ready? All right, here's picture number 1.
I don't have any left.
All right, this is individual. Make sure that you're doing this on your own by yourself. Take a stab at it. If you don't know, you might not know at all. Just take a stab. What do you think? All right, picture number 2. Three. Four. Am I going too fast? No. Everybody's good? Okay. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. who that is?
Elvis.
Well,
Come on, I'm coming back after 3 weeks.
I
2
got
weeks.
you. You're-
Cut me some slack.
this was a while ago. Alright, what number are we on? I'm sorry, I lost count. 13. This will be 13 coming up? Yeah. Alright, here's 13.
What is that?
I know, it's hard to see, it's really pixelated.
What's going on?
It's the police officers, they've got weapons in their hand and they're beating somebody. That's really funny. Okay, next. That's 14? Yeah. I think we have 2 more. Here we go.
I'm behind on this link.
And the last one. No, I'm just kidding. There's one more after this.
I'll see the date.
I was hoping that you wouldn't see that. I almost blurted out. I couldn't. All right, here we go. Last one. Okay. So, thank you. Okay, so talk to me. Let's go back to the top. Here, I'm gonna. All right, this is our first picture.
State oil embargo, I just don't know what year it was.
Okay, so what year are we looking at here?
1950s?
Sorry, I have an answer key at the end.
Dang it, I was so close. I was just 20 years off.
Let's go through and correct it real quick, and then we'll go back and look at them and talk about.
That was 1 year.
All right, so number 1 was the 70s, 2 was the 50s, 3 80s,
Dang, I'm bad at this.
4 60s, 5 50s, 6 90s, 7 90s, 8 60s, 9 70s, 10 50s, 11 the 60s, 12 was the 70s, 13 was 90s, 14 was 80s, 15 was 90s, 16 was 80s, 17 was 90s. All right. All right, before we talk about each picture, tell me, what did you notice? Where were the pictures coming from? Like, what kinds of pictures were these?
Like, stuff that would cause controversy.
Okay, maybe things that would cause controversy. Good, Jordan. Dion.
A lot of it pop culture and like media influence.
All right, so we got pop culture, we've got media influence. I would take a few notes on this stuff on your sheet of paper. This is going to tie into what we're doing with the project. What else did you see pictures of?
Elections.
Okay, politics.
Okay.
We had a couple of presidents up there.
Like TV shows and movies.
TV shows and movies.
Social movement.
Social movements, good. Good. All right, so let's talk about these. How many of you got the first picture correct, that it was the 70s? Alec was talking about the time.
Yeah, I would
Okay, what gave it away?
Go ahead.
The
oil.
The oil, okay? So we know that there were issues in the 70s with oil, good.
Always
It was
off by
kind
10
of like
years.
recent.
All right, what about this one?
50s.
I knew it had to be during the Civil War.
Yeah, I would say 50s or 60s.
I said
Yeah.
would change it in the 60s and kind of wavered because it could have been anywhere.
Okay, yeah. I would, if I was,
forgetting them wrong.
focus, guys, if I was, if this was a quiz, I would probably take both on that. Emma?
Well, I was gonna say, I put 60s, but it would make sense that it was the 50s because Martin Luther King was big in like the 60s because he gave his like I Have a Dream speech, his mountaintop speech, like in 63, 65, and 68. So it would make sense that they're talking about like is that for not wanting racial mixing?
Stop the race.
Yeah, so that would make
Race
sense
mixing
because
is
before-
communism.
Yeah, it would make sense because it was before he came around.
Good, okay. All right, next one. Fashion. All right, so we're talking fashion, pop culture. What time period? How many of you got that one right? All right, good. Good, good. Who's in the middle there?
MC Hammer.
Those pants are coming back, folks.
MC Hammer.
They are. I know. Look around.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's the only good song ever written.
Okay, here we go. Who's that? Those are the Beatles. What year? 60s.
I felt confident for a second.
Okay,
Adam was like 2010.
this picture.
Typical American housewife.
Yep,
Yeah.
typical American housewife in the 1950s. Good. O.J. Simpson. Did you? How many of you knew this was O.J.? How many of you are watching the O.J. trial?
It was the glove.
Kind of was off.
I first said it was like the 60s or something, but then I realized, oh wait, the black gloves was a big part of the trial.
Yeah.
I knew it was actually.
I thought it was the
Alright, so yes, this is the 90s. Stay with me, folks. Okay. 90s fashion. 90s fashion.
8.
That was obvious.
Well, now it's 8.
Now it's
Which one is this?
60.
Vietnam.
At least
Yeah.
I got.
What's this one?
70s,
70s fashion and hairstyles. Okay.
50s Americana.
Okay, 50s manner of conduct.
Americana.
Good. Okay, okay, I got you.
Moon landing.
60s, yeah. Okay.
I'll land on the moon.
70s, and we discussed John Travolta. All right, I heard a couple of things, and I want to make sure that we're clear on this picture. I know that probably some of you got this one wrong. I heard Kent State, and I was like, wow, good pull on Kent State. That's awesome to have that in your repertoire. This is Rodney King with the LA Police in the 90s. Okay?
We haven't hit the 90s yet.
It's number 13.
We haven't hit the 90s yet. Who knows what's happening in this picture? Dion.
Wasn't like he was like pulled over for drunk driving, but then like they just started like beating him for no reason, and that's kind of what kicked off like the race war in LA and everything.
Yeah, the LAPD and the race war in LA in the 90s was crazy. If you've seen, which you shouldn't have because you're all underage, but if you've seen Straight Outta Compton, they discuss.
I'm not underage.
Oh, is that NC-17?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was rated R. I apologize.
Rated R.
Oh, it is 17? Oh, it used to be 18.
No, now we get to see it.
Now you can see our
Big
movies.
people
All right,
with
you're
big
good.
heads.
Okay, so Straight Outta Compton, they discuss this issue a lot in that movie. So if you've seen it,
We should have a class time movie.
we have an age grade coming up. I'm ready for that. Okay, what's this?
Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club. Anybody seen the Breakfast Club?
I know
Okay.
it's like
Again, pop culture with movies. This is the what? 80s. All right, what is this? Do you know what this is a picture of?
Something to do with the Middle East.
Okay.
Peace with the Middle East. I believe that's Saudi.
Okay. Okay. Last, this one? 80s.
80s, Reagan, Bush.
Reagan and Bush running
Reagan,
84.
the 80s.
Sophie found the poster that has 84 on it.
I got a
There's
good
only
eye.
one. Oh, yeah. You see it right here?
That was the first thing that caught my eye.
Oh, it's bigger? Where is it?
Up, right, down, down.
You're on the right.
Okay, all right. Okay, and the last picture.
90s.
Which is the original 90210 Beverly Hills.
I guess 90s based on clothing and picture quality. Yeah.
Okay, so how many of you feel like, how many of you got fewer than 5 wrong on this? All right, 5 or fewer. 5 or fewer. All right.
I was always a year off. That was my problem. I was always a year off for most of these.
I was at
All right.
sugar off.
So, this is why we want to do this lookbook thing. So as you can see, what we did with this warm-up was I pulled pictures, okay? So that's what you're going to be doing for your lookbook on your assigned your assigned group. So let's take a look at the project here. This third and final project before the big project at the end of the school year is to stretch your repertoire of possible supportive evidence and examples to use in a free response essay. Or, folks, you can pull these and use it for a synthesis essay as well to help bolster your points on that, okay? You're going to be placed in groups and you're going to create a lookbook of photos, titles, captions, and quotes that define a specific decade of the 20th century. Now, the writing is not going to be a lot on this. You're going to have to encapsulate that specific decade with short little titles of, each, pop culture, whatever you're doing, and then you're going to have to pull quotes from that time and get them in your lookbook as well. So this is very hands-on with this, lots of printing of pictures and things like that, okay? So you're going to look at your decade through 6 specific lenses, and we're going to talk about that. There's going to be 6 people in each group. Each person's going to be responsible for a lens. You're going to have to come together as a whole group to do that, okay? All right, so requirements. You need a cover for your book with the best possible external text structure that encapsulates your decade, okay? So be thinking about that. I'm leaving that a little bit open because I want you to